Good day, students. Welcome to Mathgotserved.com. In this clip, we're going to be taking a look at properties of parallelograms and how we can use that to find missing sides and angles. Don't forget, we have some practice problems at the end of this presentation for you to try out, so be sure to go over all the examples and try out those practice problems. Tons of support resources can be found at Mathgotserved.com to check it out, and also you can take a look at the links in the description below. Alright, so let's take a look at some properties of parallelograms. Not all of them, we're just going to look at the side and angle properties. So let's say we have parallelogram A, B, C, D. Alright, so basically opposite sides are parallel and congruent. That's the definition of a parallelogram. Alright, so given parallelogram A, B, C, D, we have the following conclusions that we can make. So given parallelogram A, B, C, D, how about the angle relationship? For all parallelograms, opposite angles are congruent. Alright, so opposite angles are congruent. So based on that piece of information, what can we write down concerning parallelogram A, B, C, D? Well, we can write down the fact that angle A is congruent to angle C, and angle B is congruent to angle D because they are opposite angles. Okay, so don't forget, opposite angles are angles that are across each other. All right, what other properties concerning angles can we write here? The next property is that adjacent angles are supplementary. All right, what does supplementary mean? Supplementary simply means they add up to 180 degrees. Okay? So that's what we're talking about when we say supplementary. So keep that in mind. All right, so what are the supplementary angular pairs for this parallelogram? Let us go ahead and specify them, just angles that are next to each other. So we have angle A, measure of angle A plus measure of angle B, since your adjacent angles is 180 degrees. Measure of angle B plus measure of angle C as 180 since they are adjacent. Measure of angle C plus measure of angle D as 180 degrees. And then lastly, measure of angle D plus measure of angle A is 180 degrees. All right. And then the last property we're going to be using in this presentation has to do with the sides. All right. For all parallelograms, opposite sides are parallel and congruent. Okay, so with this piece of information in mind, what are some things that we can write concerning parallelogram A, B, C, D? Well, we can write the following. We can conclude that side AB, right, is parallel to side DC. All right. And then also side BC is parallel to side AD. We can also specify that opposite sides are congruent. So AB, segment AB is congruent to segment DC. And segment BC is congruent to segment AD, opposite sides. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at some practice problems. All right, let's take a look at 1, 2, 3. For all these problems, these are all parallelograms, okay? So for 1 and 2, we're going to find the value of x. So for number 1, let's say we have parallelogram M, A, TH, parallelogram math. All right, so for number 1, this angle A right here is 70 degrees and angle T is 28, the quantity 28x minus 2. Okay, and then the task is to find the value of x. All right, so for number 1, these are the two given angles, the one that we know and the one we're to find the value of x, where x is one of its components. So these are the two angles that we're considering. All right, so what's the relationship between these two angles right here? These angles are next to each other, so they are adjacent. Okay, so angle A and angle T are adjacent angles. Adjacent, another word for adjacent is next to. All right, so what's the relationship? What property can we use here? We know that for all parallelograms, adjacent angles of parallelograms are what? Are supplementary. Basically, they add up to 180. Okay, so since they're supplementary, we can write down the following remark, that the measure of angle A plus the measure of angle T is equal to 180. That's what supplementary means. And then let's substitute their values. 70 for measure of angle A plus the quantity 28x minus 2 is equal to 180. So it's now an algebra problem. All right, so to get x isolated, we're going to combine like terms and then get x isolated. So we can bring down 28x. The linear term has nothing to be combined with. And then we have two constants, 70 and a negative 2. So 70 minus 2 is 68. So we have 28 plus 68 equals 180. And then to get x by itself, we're just simply going to subtract 68 and divide by 28. All right, so let's do that. Subtract 68 from both sides. If you subtract 68 from both sides of the equation, we're going to get 28x is equal to 112. And then divide both sides by 28. That will result in the isolation of x. So 112 divided by 28 is 4. So you're going to get the answer for number 1. X is equal to 4. Okay, so that's that. All right, let's move on to question number 2. So for number 2, let's say we have the given parallelogram ABCD. All right, and then angle B is 126 degrees, and angle D is the quantity 2 plus 31x. All right, so these are the two angles under consideration, the given and the expression. So what's the relationship between these two angles? They're opposite each other. Okay, so next to each other is adjacent, and this is opposite, facing each other like this. So angle B and angle D are opposite angles. What do we know about opposite angles in every parallelogram? Opposite angles of parallelograms are congruent. Okay, so with that, we can write down the following relationship, which is that the measure of angle B is equal to the measure of angle D. Okay, and if we substitute, we have 126 is equal to 2 plus 31x. Okay, let's get x by itself. This is a two-step process. Subtract 2 from both sides. After you subtract 2 from both sides of the equation, you're going to get 126 minus 2 is 124. 124 is equal to 31x. And then divide both sides by 31. and then you get your final answer. X is equal to 4. All right, so there goes the answer to question number 2. Okay, number 3 is slightly different. Number 3, we're not just looking for a variable, we're actually looking for the measure of the side of a parallelogram. So for question 3, consider the following scenario. Let's say this is parallelogram STUV. All right, side SV is 2x plus 7, and then side UT is 3x plus 1. So we want to find UT. How long is this side, this bottom side here? All right, so we're looking at these two sides. What's the relationship between these two sides right here? These two sides are facing each other, so they're opposite sides, okay? So SV, side SV and side TU are opposite sides. What do we know about opposite sides of a parallelogram? Opposite sides of a parallelogram, opposite sides of a parallelogram are congruent, the same measure, okay? So we can easily write the statement SV is equal to TU. Let's substitute your measures. 2x plus 7 is equal to 3x plus 1. Okay, all right, let's move all the variables to one side and the numbers to the other. I'm going to move the smaller variable 2x to the right side. All right, and then move the constants to the left. Like that. Okay, so now let's simplify, see what we get. We're now going to get, so this adds up to 0. This will likewise. 7 minus 1 is 6. And then 3 minus 2x. 3x minus 2x is x. Okay? So are we done with this problem? Don't forget, you always want to make sure you answer the question, all right? So you're looking for UT, the length of side UT or TU. But we just found x. The length of TU is dependent on that. So all we're just going to do to finish this problem is substitute that value into this measure right here. Okay, so UT is 3x plus 1. So we're just going to take this answer that we got, 6, and plug it right here. Okay, and then that's going to give us 3 times 6 plus 1, which is 18 plus 1, which is 19. All right, so side UT is 19 units long. All right, so that's that. Now we're going to give you some practice problems to try out so you can demonstrate mastery of what we've been talking about the past 13 minutes. Alrighty, so here are some practice problems I would like you to try out. Go ahead and pause the video presentation at this time and try the 6 problems. When you're done, click on the playback button and we'll reveal what the correct answers are. Alrighty, so here are the answers to 1 to 6. Go ahead and check your work. So how well did you do? Let us know in the comment section how well you did. If you have any questions, specify it in the comment section also so that we can be able to assist you. Thanks so much for taking the time to watch this presentation. Don't forget there are tons of support resources at Mathgotserved.com to check it out. And look in the description below for also supportive links for math content. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.